Hey y'all, it's Podcast Wednesday. What's going on? How are y'all? We have an amazing interview today with the amazing, beautiful, talented, gifted, creative artist, baker, chef, cook, mother, Thellon Corbett. We are looking forward for her to share her story. Waiting for my co-host to come on in the room. Because she definitely is winning, okay? Definitely.
Yeah, so we're going to have her in at 7:45. We're going to have her come in and her story. I'm sorry, 6:45 with y'all. But she winning out here. Hi, Los. I see you out here. Why are you making that face? What's up, sis? What's up, Los? You hear the song? What's good? Y'all get ready. Keep winning, y'all out here fighting cancer, beating cancer, whatever kind you have. Don't give up. Just keep pushing forward, knowing that you are worth the fight for yourself. Keep showing up for you, knowing that we have the power to heal ourselves. We have the power to make a decision to want to live and fight through it all. And so we're going to hear a little bit about that in a little bit. So I just want y'all to know that it's okay and it's going to be okay. See if we can get my co-host back in here. Hey, y'all. To heal ourselves. You okay now? Okay. Oh. Yep. So we gonna get ready to just tap into everything that we need to tap into about this episode today. We're gonna be talking to a winner, somebody who definitely beat cancer and definitely is a winner, and that's what we want to talk about today. You said you just ordered a police uniform? Okay. What that mean? Okay. So how was your day?
I was good. And yours?
Extremely busy. Yeah, we'll talk about it after. But extremely, extremely busy. Yeah. You said the video you sent. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and see what I sent you because I don't even know. Who knows? I be sending y'all stuff. I don't know. I gotta go back and see. You ordered your police outfit, but ain't no telling what I done sent you. But I hope everybody had a great day today. As we know, it is Podcast Wednesday. We're going to be talking some real talk today about fighting cancer. I sent you guys some of you guys some things about the bladderwrack and burdock root and those different things. I've been sending that out to different people that I know. Some health things going on or some weight issues going on. Those help with weight loss, speed up metabolism, thyroid, different stuff like that. And so the lady that I talk about often that sat under Dr. Sebi as one of his pupils, I should say, she has a site that I've been ordering off of for years, and I've shared with most of you guys and have personally shared it on your health journeys, and that is allnaturalhealing.com. And natural is spelled with is spelled like NATRELL. natural healing. And she actually hasn't been like on YouTube in a while, but she did a video and she was talking about those herbs. So I was glad to hear from her and see that she had posted up something because it's been a while. So I had shared that with a few people. Hi, Teddy, welcome. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah. Let's see. So what did you do today? What is your plans for the rest of the week for you? What you got going on?
Girl, just the usual, you know.
Work, work.
Work,
So you got your pink on. See?
work, and rehearsal on Friday.
Okay. Okay.
So work, look,
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
work.
That's life, huh? Work, work, work. But you guys tap into some of the things that are going on in the community concerning breast cancer awareness. So it's a couple of events going on around the 757. If you can support, go support. If you can't, or you just know somebody that has been through certain things, by all means, please tap in, and support and show love to them. Please do so. Because and when you're going through stuff like that, you definitely need that. I had sent you something that said you hadn't been on in a while, so I don't know if you had got it or not, because I had wanted you to read that when we
Where did you send it to?
get here.
On IG?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here. Yeah. So that's all we've been doing, and I'm gonna get ready to have her come in, and she's gonna join us. And it's amazing. She's an amazing creative. Guys have seen me with my body art. Her and her husband are the ones that created, and so we're gonna have her come in and share her story with everybody shortly. She can come in now if she wants to. Just send the just send the just send the invite, Miss Cherry Garden. I sent you one. I'm waiting to see if you're gonna be able to respond. Oh, wrong person. Oh, okay, I think I see you. Let's see.
Hey, Morose. Hi.
Hello.
Can you see me?
I
The
can.
okay?
I
Okay.
can.
All right. Great. Great. How are you?
I am well. How are you? This is my co-host Mo, and I'm Mo, of course, and we're glad to have you on
I can't
today just to share.
I can't see her.
Can you see
You
me?
can.
All right. Let me see. Is it too dark? Can you see me? Good
No,
lighting?
I just can't see you at
Oh,
all.
okay. Morose.
Oh, because of Instagram. So if you want to go out and try to come back in, and if it doesn't work, that's fine. We're just going. It happens to us every
Yeah.
week. Something
We're going
goes
to
on
go
with
out
Instagram.
and I'll come back in. All right.
Okay.
I'll give it another shot. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
hon.
thank you.
The link again.
Yeah, I
Oh,
will right now.
all right. Great. Thanks.
Okay.
Here they go again.
You had got what I sent you though.
The intro, yeah. I mean the bio.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just sent it. And this is back on here. Oh, yeah. It's still up there.
Hey Eric.
Mhm.
Hey Rob.
Hey, I'm accepting it. I don't know why it's not. Hmm.
Okay. She's coming
Okay.
in now.
Okay. Can you see
All
me?
right.
All right.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, how are you again?
I don't think Mo can see me though. I saw her shake her head and no again.
You
It's
can
okay.
see
Go
her.
ahead. No.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, so how are you today? How has your day been? And thank you again for coming to us.
You are so very welcome. Before we even begin, I'm not that good with on the spot. Like you gotta help me out because put me on the spot make me a little jittery. But today was a good day, Monrose. Thank you for asking, girl. I made today what it was. Great
Yeah.
day. Great day.
This month is a great month for you,
Yeah,
not just because of the month, but because of what you overcame.
absolutely.
We're gonna just read a little bit about you before we get started, and then we're gonna allow you to tell us, about you as I ask certain questions and probe questions, and she will as
Yes,
well.
please probe the questions because me
Oh,
digging deep
I
is not
got you.
out the work.
I got you. I
Okay.
got
And thank you again for having me. This is so special. This is like so special. Really special.
you. Yeah. You're special to me, so and your fight and watching you fight through it. So I definitely know with you going through what you went through and the extensiveness of it, that someone somewhere, especially of melanated people, need to have that hope. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's not always there. So I feel like your fight, I watched you as it was an extraordinary
I
situation.
appreciate
So Mo, you can start reading her whenever.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. You gonna read
Oh,
it?
Oh, am I reading it?
No, Mo is. I just don't know what's
I,
going on.
I gotta get to it first.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to say that. You ain't got it. I don't know what's going
I
on.
said
It's just
o-
silent.
I said okay. I said okay, but I had to get to it because I'm trying to look at the screen and watch. So I had to go out and get back to that.
Oh, you didn't have your other device.
I do have my other device, but for me to see what's going on, I'm looking on my other device because I
Oh,
can't see
to
her on the
right.
screen. Yeah,
Got
because
you.
I can't see her. I only see the two of us.
Okay. So you was using your other device to see the whole. I can see what you're saying. But anyway, getting back to what you were talking about earlier when we were on the phone, knowing that you would be able and willing to tell your story, because a lot of people are shy, or I don't know, they don't want to really tell. I've met a lot of people that are like that don't, for whatever reasons, they don't want to share their story. But it meant a lot to me for you to be willing to tell your story, you
Yeah.
know, and be okay with sharing for others to give them hope. Because as we know, I had my scare 2 years ago with that, and I had shared that with you,
Yes.
you know, and
Yes.
even though it wasn't that, just a fear of knowing that you got to go through all the same testing that you guys go through beforehand to
Yeah.
find out whatever is horrifying within itself. So
Yes.
just to get that prognosis or diagnosis is a lot.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. It was absolutely
Yeah.
a lot.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read her bio that she sent us. Right. And it says, "Hi, my name is Thellon Corbett. I'm a mother of four beautiful children, and I'm a wife of 18 years. I am also an inspiring entrepreneur that prides myself in being able to bring joy and happiness to people through food and art. If I can make a difference in the hearts of others on my journey through life, then I know I'm walking in purpose, and that is what matters mostly."
They
Absolutely. And
absolutely. That's success.
and and that you do. And that you do.
Thank you.
So what I want to know is, as a mother, um, when you, first of all, let's rewind. What happened that you found out about your breast cancer? Were you always in tune in your body? Did you do your regular breast exams? Did something happen different in you, or you felt something? How did you discover that something was going on or something was different?
There's a few factors in this. The first thing was I literally, and I tell people, I don't know really how people are in tune spiritually with themselves, but before I even begin on the journey, I tell people that God gave me a dream, that I was going to go through something major. A lot of times when He gives you dreams, you can't quite, decipher
Mm-hmm.
what
Mm-hmm.
or kind of understand
Right.
when he
Right.
them to you or while it's happening, but later on down the line you're like, I get it. You start these
Mm-hmm.
things together. And I had a dream that he gave me some flowers, and it wasn't, he didn't physically give them to me in my hand. I walked into my bathroom, and my bathroom was foggy, almost kind of like it was a blur in my whole bathroom. I couldn't see anything. And when I looked on the counter, it was a vase or a vase of flowers that was red, pink, and white. It almost kind of reminded me of a lotus flower. And if you know anything about lotus flowers, they grow in murky water, dirty water, and there are beautiful flowers that grow in dirty water. However, my water wasn't dirty. My water was crystal clear, and I had this big beautiful flower in that bathroom, and it was in the midst of me going through something in my life. And right then and there, he let me know that no matter what I was about to go through, that I was going to be okay. So that's how I'm receiving him giving me my flowers on this journey. And I had this dream, I can distinctly remember I had this dream in January. And after I had that dream, I was telling people that no matter where I walked or no matter where I was, and if I could look down at the ground, I was always seeing things in the shape of a heart. It could be lint, but it was the shape of a heart. It could be a leaf in the shape of a heart. And I was like, I was just seeing little signs. And January, February, March, I'm good. I'm taking a shower. January I didn't feel anything. February I didn't feel anything because I don't do, the doctors tell you, the gynecologists say, yeah, do your routine checkups, check your boobs, do your own mammogram. But I'm gonna be honest, I just never did that.
Hmm.
Growing up, I would always take a shower. Therefore, you knew your body, you touched your body, but I didn't, you know, my hand up, do. Realistically, who does that regular? And January, I remember, taking a shower, I'm fine. February, I remember taking a shower, I'm fine. March, I remember taking a shower, I'm fine. April comes towards the end of March, towards the end of March, I'm gonna say. I get out of the bathroom and I get out the shower and I feel this huge golf ball size knot in my breast, and instantly, I already knew exactly what it was. So it kind of hit me a little bit, but I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole and start creating or envisioning my own death. So of course, I took the proper protocols as far as taking care of my body, calling around at the doctors, and we all know how the mammogram and the biopsies and all of that stuff go. So I was playing a waiting game for almost a month, waiting to hear back the results of my, biopsy. So for a whole month straight, I was trying not to go down a rabbit hole. And it was so hard because every time I looked at my family and my kids, I just wanted to burst out into tears because I knew deep down what I was battling. So, it was shown to me in a dream, not initially that I was going to have cancer, but I knew I was going to go through something. So, yeah.
So in that long wait of you waiting for them to reach back out to you, what did you do to soothe you in those moments of despair, in those moments of looking at your children and your husband, wanting to just cry and to prevent yourself from going down the rabbit holes? What are some of the things? It could be basic things. You could have went outside and just took a walk, but people need different type of coping mechanisms, and it could be something as simple as you went and sat in the sun. But what did you do?
I made sure, because for a while I have been like a health fanatic. So instantly I made sure I started changing my diet. I did take walks, for therapy for the mind. I stayed exercising. My daily routine, I just amped that up to keep my mind away from, going there. And then also I just cultivated like everything that I knew as far as being in church and being under certain, leadership, all went out the door. I had to really develop a prayer life with God that no man
Yes,
taught me. You understand
yes,
what I
yes,
um
I do.
not no
Definitely.
I had to do this on my own. I mean, I've been in church for a very long time. Pentecostal Baptist, I'm been that type of person. But when you find out that you are about to go through this, everything you have ever learned from anybody goes out the door. I'm telling you, it just goes out the door. And you just have to develop this prayer life with God. Nothing cliche. I mean, you really have to go into what we know, a prayer closet, and really communicate with him deeply from the heart. Because he knows what you're about to go through, and you need every strength that you can to get through it. So that's basically how I stayed afloat. My kids still, maintaining my daily life, still wanting to be around my family. That's basically it. That's basically what I do. I kept my routine going. You can't come to a standstill in life when you find out you are about to possibly go through something and become a turtle and hide in your shell. You have to continue your daily living as you would ordinarily. I just refuse to get in a rut. I refuse to do that. So I just kept my daily life going.
So what what would you say, like you said, out of everything that goes out the window, but there is always, us coming from those type of
Yeah.
backgrounds, there is always a scripture, a saying, or something that you hold to help you to keep showing up for you, that
Yeah.
gives you that strength. What scripture was that for you?
You want to know what? To be honest with you, the scripture, lean not on your own understanding.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
played in my mind.
Mm. That's
It
powerful.
absolutely played in my mind. I had that on repeat because I couldn't lean on my own understanding. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't
Mm-hmm.
lean when we go to the
On what
doctor.
it looked like.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. When we go to the doctors, they're just practicing their work on us. You can't really even lean on them. I had to really lean on God. And not
Mhm.
only that, the Proverbs 23 was a lot in my brain too, as well, when he said that yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Oh,
Literally,
okay.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
absolutely. Is that the right one that I said?
Psalm
23?
Psalm.
Psalms.
You said
23.
Proverbs.
Sorry if I got it.
Yeah.
But that
That's
one was
what you
one that
know it. You know it. That's what you
it
know
takes a lot on my conscience too, because every time you go up that mountain, you're gonna go right back in. He said the valley of the shadow of death.
it.
So
Hmm.
if you let that resonate in your brain, you're gonna know it's deep, dark, and it's death.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I know he was with me. No matter what, I just knew he was with me. So those are the two verses. That was what resonated in my soul. Those two.
That's so
Yeah.
powerful. um that's just so powerful, even how, speaking to you in dreams, because people that do not have, and that's a gift, because everybody does not dream. And I mean, the older I get, the more I find out, in my mind, everybody can see, everybody can feel, everybody, but really it's not,
Oh,
it's a chosen few. And not that it makes us any better, it's just that he trusts us to
right,
trust him. He
right,
trusts us to entrust us with the downloads. And
right,
so to have gotten that, and not to, sometimes some people will get mad at
right,
God, like, well, why am I going through this? Why you choose me? I don't want this right now. Like, and for you to have went through it the way you did, he allowed you to be chosen to go through it, because scripture teaches us that um he went around and he asked, could he tempt Job? He didn't just have the power or the permission. So when he said, I'm a test T out. I'm gonna see what she about. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. She was raised up with this foundation, but we all do our things. We don't. What the enemy don't realize, we might go a way that don't seem right to a man,
right,
but our relationship is personal and it don't be going
right,
nowhere. And so when you can recognize that is personal, no matter what it looks like, you can still have that faith and that trust. And though you waver, because I know for me, I ooh, you know what I mean? Like I would be like, I'm gonna trust you, I trust you, I trust you. But then
right,
you have a few, for me, it was a split second that I'm like, okay, God, you know. And he had to keep reminding me is, if I brought you through all of this other stuff you done been through, why would you not think?
right.
You know what I mean? But it made me, and I'm one who always have checked her breast. So for me, it was a way that made me feel like, even though it wasn't me, I have a newfound respect for those that it is. And
Yeah,
not that I didn't respect y'all,
yeah,
but it just gave me a personal, up close
yeah.
Paya, that this can be just that quick. So I respect the struggle even more, and the passion and the journey even more than I ever have for that, because
Absolutely. Because you went through actually a partial of what we go
hmm
through,
hmm
even having to go
hmm
through testing, that's a lot. Like, it's a lot. And then for a woman to find anything in her breast, whether if it's just like a benign tumor or anything like that,
hmm
that's a lot.
hmm
That is a
hmm
it's a lot. So been through it, you actually you got the taste of, it's not a good taste,
right.
but you got to
But I
experience
see,
something.
what I would say, it is a good taste, because it makes me be able to allow women like you on a platform that somebody might not think they're nothing. They just come here, they're not great. But it's somebody who that's in the trenches, that may not be nobody to nobody else, that will hear this, that will see this, that will get tagged in this, that will say, hey, this is something that has happened to somebody else that we know, and they came out, so you can still have hope. So it was a horrific, a horrifying situation, but it was a good thing that I had went through that, because I understand it all on another type of level.
Yes.
And then, when you were explaining to me, when you did my first body paint, and you confided in me, okay, this is what's going on with me, and I'm standing in my living room looking at you like, what? And you moving like this? You like, yeah, I just had a treatment 2 days ago, every 3 days. I'm like,
Right.
looking at your
Yeah.
strength, you know what I mean? And not never asking, why you didn't have any hair. I just thought
Right.
that was what it was. And I was like, she's beautiful with
Yeah.
no hair. That's a beautiful, tall, chocolate woman. Like, she is wearing it. Didn't know until you told me. And it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you still showed up for you. You showed up for your business.
I did.
You showed up for your husband. You showed up for that with no complaints. I never seen you even look sick. I'm sure you didn't feel good at times, but you didn't let on to anything. If you would have never told me, I would have never known until you said, oh, I rung my bell. What bell? You know what I mean? So, like, I would have never known.
Right.
So tell me a little bit more.
Yeah.
So once they called you, did they tell you what kind it was? Because I know it's like
Yeah.
all these different kinds.
Yes, they did. When they called me, and this is where my gut blow finally hit, that when they called me and I remember going to one of the nurses after, I finished and I had to speak with her, and she said, we'll get your results in about, from this time frame that I've been waiting. She said I had to, either they were going to call me to come back to the office, or, they would tell me over the phone. So when they finally called me, they told me to come into the office. So that coming into the office gave me my final initial like gut blow, like somebody could just hit you in the stomach. That's what it actually felt like. And I called my daughter instantly, right away, and let her know, look, Kayla, I need some support. Because this is what's going on. Because she was like, she was my rock. Michaela was there for me 100%. That's my 24-year-old daughter. And I called her and I said, I'm going to need you to come with me when I go, to the doctor. And when we walked into the doctor, they led us back to this room, and the nurse walked away, and she went to go back and get another doctor. And when I seen both of those doctors come in, I knew that it was the final say to let me know that I did have cancer. But when they told me that, and they told me that on one of the ugliest days, you guys, it was pouring down, gray sky, rainy. It was like a stormy day, which I find so ironic. But when they told me that I did have cancer, which was actually stage 2 at the time, they had told me, it was cancer, it was very, very aggressive. It was very aggressive. And when they told me it was called, I wish I had my books with me, but my cancer was a high estrogen produced cancer. So it was produced by a lot of estrogen, and the name of it, I can't quite, they didn't really give it a name. I just know they said it was R2 positive, which was great because they did give me some reassurance that R2 positive, a lot of ladies who have that type of breast cancer actually make it through. So they did give me some positivity during that process to let me know that I was having cancer. But my daughter was the one who was asking all the questions, because I'm not going to lie, my brain went straight into tunnel vision. I couldn't ask questions. All I could do was just sit there and finally let every tear just roll down my face when I finally got that news. So it was, I do have it somewhere around here. I'll have to go back and look, which probably don't make a difference right now because I don't have it on me, but it was high estrogen produced, and it was R2 negative, not positive, but R2 negative. So HER2 negative, I think that's what they call it. But yeah, so it was one of the ones that they did reassure me. It might be aggressive. However, it is quite known that women with that type of cancer actually kind of, they do make it through. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Is it a cancer that, even though that you not saying, because I believe you are totally whole and healed, but what I'm saying is that a cancer that is known to re-show its face is once is it one that also can affect the ovaries? Because what a lot of women don't know, I only know because one of my close friends, I call her my sister from back home, Erica, she went through a different kind of cancer, breast cancer, and they had to remove her ovaries because they said
Yeah.
if they didn't, they, it was going to show up there.
It,
So
yeah.
a lot of women don't know that for whatever reason, our boobies and our ovaries are very much connected. I don't know how he made us, but we're some
Yes.
unique beings.
Yes, they are. The cancer that I do have is genetic. It runs in my family. However, it skipped me. My sister 2 years ago battled the same type of cancer that I battled, and she had her, which it does affect the ovaries, it affects the uterus, it causes prostate cancer. So that is the type of cancer that runs in my family genetically. So yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what when once you found out, you began to take your chemo and radiation, was it shrinking it fast? Did they offer you surgical alternative? What did they say to you? Like what did they give you as your process? Like, okay, this is what we want to try first. We want to do chemo and radiation, or did they just start you off on chemo, or what did they tell you?
So when you first have cancer and you first find out your diagnosis, they're throwing so much stuff your way. Like so much stuff you don't even understand because you're from one doctor's appointment to the next doctor's appointments, and you're meeting with this team of doctors and you're meeting with this doctor and this nurse. So you have so much information that while you're trying to process the fact that you have cancer, you're trying to process everything these doctors are throwing your way, and everything sounds so foreign to me because I just didn't know what was my next step. I just wanted to get to the chemotherapy so I can start, feeling better, because cancer not only you don't only not you cancer hurts. I don't let nobody tell you that it doesn't. I just wanted that part of my body to stop hurting like that. So it really does. It hurts. And as soon as they, got me going, I had to do so much testing. They had to touch my heart to make sure I can get through the chemotherapy. I had to go do one surgery when they have to put in ports. So you have to go see a team of doctors who already have your plan already planned out for you when they find out what type of cancer you have. And I didn't start taking chemo until I want to say it was May. And I found out I had to go through this process from March, April, May. So May is when I started taking my first chemotherapy. Um, but yeah, so it is a process. They throw so much information your way. I mean, you're confused. I'm not lying there. When I was going through it, I had to look up or try to find so many, especially women of color, who actually went through it. And like you said, Monrose, a lot of people are ashamed to tell their stories, and it's hard to find women of color who is able to sit and tell you their story because they are ashamed. But people need this knowledge. They need it because it's hard to find somebody when you're going through it to be a testimony that you're going to
Mhm.
get through it. It's not
You
easy at
feel
all.
alone. You
Yes,
feel alone, and that
absolutely.
and nobody like is in it with you, and that's why it's so important for them to share, and for you guys to share, and for me who was found something, but thank God it wasn't, but for me to share that, okay, do your breast examinations for it is important. It's important to try to get herbal balance now. It's important to make sure that we are putting good things in our bodies, because it's all types of
Yeah.
forms. So you said that you started out with 2, but you ended up having 3. So in the time frame of March to May,
Hmm.
it was that aggressive that you
Very,
went from a 2 to a 3
yes, it
that
went from
fast?
2 to 3
Wow.
that fast, which was
Mm.
very scary. It was very scary to me. It was very, very scary. So I had a very aggressive cancer, but the blessing behind that is God allowed me to feel my cancer. Some people
Mhm.
can't feel their cancer. My lump was right here on my breast. So when I started taking chemo, after a month, I could feel the lump shrinking. So
Mhm.
that was a beautiful thing because some people can't feel it. Some people it's in
Mhm.
there. They can't feel it. I was able to
Mhm.
feel mine. Therefore, I knew as it was shrinking, the chemotherapy was working. It was reacting to the chemotherapy, and some cancers don't react to the chemotherapy. But the chemotherapy, the cancer was reacting very, very, very good with it.
So with
Good. I'm so
um
glad.
so with your chemo, when you did your chemotherapy, Did you have to, after you did your chemo, did you have to go through radiation treatment or did you just only do the chemo?
God is so good, you guys. When he got rid of that chemo, when he got rid of that cancer, he got rid of the cancer.
Mm.
Like the doctors was very surprised that my body was reacting to the chemo the way that it was. They were like, a lot of people's bodies don't react to the
Mhm.
chemotherapy the way it did. I knew God had me on this journey. I knew he had me on this journey, and it was shrinking during the process. Um, but yeah.
That that and that's a blessing. That is definitely a blessing because I don't know if you heard last week. My sister, my younger sister, she was 24 when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and
Wow.
she was like one of the youngest that they had at that particular facility. She she did her body did react well to the chemo. However, she did have to do like one round of radiation. Um, so that's why I was asking
Yeah,
because I know that she did her body was reacting well to the chemo. However, she still ended up having to do at least one round of radiation. Um, with that, so with that, when you were going through your chemo process, what was that like? Did you have to were your did you have any type of side effects or um excuse me, did you have any type of side effects with the chemo? Um and uh how did that feel and what did you do to try to counteract that?
I did. I did have I had two different sessions of chemo. I went through a session from May until July, and then I had another set from July until October. And the May through July session, of course, takes your hair away. I laugh because people talk about my complexion now, but I cancer also. I don't know if it was the cancer or just, I don't know what it was, but it kind of like, darkened my complexion. People will call it
Right.
hyperpigmentation. I feel
Yeah.
like I got hyperpigmentation all over my body. It's so crazy. But the second session,
Radiation.
your hair, your fingernails darken, you get neuropathy. What else? I had a few things that I was going through. Those are like the three major things that I was going through with the first session. Not being able to eat, not feeling well, of course. But the second session, come to find out, the second treatment, I was allergic to. So I felt like I almost died twice, you guys. And it felt so crazy because these doctors know, like instantaneously, I felt like I was drowning, but I was alive. And they let me know that my body was allergic to the second session. So they had to give me steroids. They had to put me to sleep from July all the way to October every time I went in
Mm.
there, get through it, because I was allergic to it. So who
Oh,
knew that you
wow.
would be allergic to the drugs that they're to the chemotherapy? My body, I was allergic to it. I don't know what they were doing, but they had me on like three type of steroids. They
Mhm.
gave me Benadryl, and also what is it? What did they give me to put me to sleep? I can't recall the drug that they gave me to put me to sleep, but that's how I got through the second session every time that I
Mhm.
went.
Every so
Which was
you had to go through that every single time throughout your second session.
every 2 weeks. When I say I hated that place literally would make me sick to my stomach to even think about it, because I knew I was going back to a place to make me sick, and it
Hmm.
was like the bane of my existence. I'm
Mhm.
telling you, even riding past it to this day, it just makes me nauseous because I never want to see that again. And it was,
Right.
it
Right.
it was horrible, but God brought me through. God brought me through, and it was crazy because every time they put me to sleep, I didn't know if I was going to wake up. So it was
Mm.
scary, very, very scary process, but I got through it. I did.
Oh, amen to
In the
that.
comment
Amen to that.
in the comment, Supernova King says that the taste was also really off, and even water was nasty from
Yeah.
I hear a lot of
Thank
people from
you.
chemo that
Thank
the
you,
taste changed.
Nova. Yes, it was. And I'm a water drinker. I'm a camel. Like I drink just like a camel, but I despised water. Like water was very, very disgusting. I couldn't drink no more than just maybe a few sips, and to even get that down, I had to mix it with pomegranate juice just to change the flavor of water. So you completely lose your taste. She's right. You lose taste, and that doesn't come back until maybe some weeks after you complete your whole chemotherapy process. Everything tastes like cardboard. So it doesn't. So you really don't want to eat. So it was an experience for sure. Very.
I,
So
I
with
think
you
it's from the
said,
I, I I think that's from the metallics, from the metals that and
mhm.
the metals and the metallic that's in the chemo. Because I know my sister, she went through that also,
Mm-hmm.
and then she also had the darkening of her skin, you know, and all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's a weird process because it's killing all those cells,
Yeah.
all the bad cells. It's also killing those good cells in there too.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly what you're doing. You're like, it's like killing you. You're watching yourself die. And it's crazy to see yourself in the mirror like that. Like you really are watching yourself die. And you're waiting for because you're fighting so many demons. Like
mhm,
nobody really have a clue. You literally are on that battlefield. Like if you could think of you being a warrior on the battlefield, like if you ever watched the movie like 300 or like Gladiator, you're really one of those warriors in those shows, or if you were watching
Mhm.
TV. So you're constantly getting knocked down, and you're constantly waiting for what it's like you're facing demons every week, or you're just facing them. They're like coming against you all the time, and you get knocked down, then you right back up again with open wounds. I mean, it's really it was a real battle, a real battle. They also give you, and I think what knocked me down the most is it wasn't really the initial chemotherapy in itself. I think it was because they also give you a shot like 3 days after.
mhm.
Some people connect it to their arm, or you have to go in and get a shot right after chemotherapy. It was the shot that took me out.
Uh,
It
okay.
it was called it was Nulestra, I think. And the first time I got that shot in my arm, because they told me it was going to make me sick, and it actually it's like having the flu times 10 on top
Mhm.
of them, and having that chemotherapy in your body. And once you take that shot, it's a wrap. You're down for like 5, 6, 7, 8 days, and then you eventually get to come back up for like maybe 2 to 3 days of fresh breath, for like you feel like yourself again, and then you're headed right back to chemotherapy, and it's about to knock you right back down again. Like
Mm,
it's a fight. It's a fight. And I've been in the nursing field I was in the nursing field for over 12 years. So I was able to watch people go through their cancer journey, and I saw people fight, and I saw people who didn't fight. And the ones that did not fight didn't make it.
right, right,
Make it. They
right.
didn't make it. Like if the ones who climbed in their shell and had the woe is me, like I can't do this, they never made it. The ones who said I'm gonna do this and think of the people you're doing it for, they always won. So that was embedded into my brain too.
Yeah,
So
I was.
with go ahead.
Go ahead, sis.
Go ahead.
You okay?
Mhm.
So with that being said, I just wanted to commend you on that because from the very beginning, once you received that you found once you found the lump, and just your whole process from the beginning was pretty much a telltale sign that you would be an overcomer, due to the fact that you remained positive, you had that strong will, and you made sure that you did your things that you were supposed to do. And a lot of people, what I did get to see when my sister was going through the whole process was, like you said, those people who have that woe is me mentality, and those who were, there were a lot of women in there that were doing their chemotherapies around the same time, and my sister would be like, I don't know what's wrong with these ladies. She was like, I can't be like that, and she would talk to me about it and be upset a lot because of the women that would be in there, and that they were much older than her, and it was just as if they just gave up and they weren't
Yeah.
trying to fight. They were just woe is me, and not
Yeah.
even trying to fight it, and I just have to say, you are a blessing, and these are the type of stories that women need to hear
Yeah.
because of your strong
Yeah.
will,
Yeah.
and your determination to make sure that you stayed a fighter throughout your whole
Yeah.
ordeal, because a lot of women they get that news and they automatically just turn inward and just let it consume them and not want to fight or push through. And I just say, what a blessing you are, and that's
You
so awesome.
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. See, I knew this journey wasn't myself. I knew I was going to be a testimony. I knew I was going to be an inspiration to somebody that needs me. And I was telling my friend, I feel like I haven't even came up on, like, maybe even through your podcast, Monrose, this will connect to the person that it needs to connect to. But I told her, I was like, I'm not, you're not, and you guys know, you don't only go through journeys for yourself, or you don't go through trials and tribulations for
Right.
yourself. You go through other people.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
knew that this journey, I knew I was going through it for somebody else. Somebody else out there needs me. So I knew I was going to put those big girl pants on, buckle up these shoes, and go right ahead. I was passenger seating this ride because I knew God was in control of it. It was crazy. It was literally like walking through fire, but I knew, rest assured, He had me.
So once you went through all of that, you got your surgery. You didn't have to get your ovaries removed.
No, no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Was there any other surgeries
Uh,
that you had the choice to make?
of course, you guys, like, I went through the double mastectomy, the bilateral. I got my whole girls removed, which was another, um, but that's the only surgery that I went through that was major for me.
Mhm.
Which still, I really, one thing about it's like I want to continue to talk on it and speak on it, but you also have to live it first.
Mm.
You want to go back and tell so many people about what you're going on, but you still really have to walk the walk to know the truth to tell the next person, and you can't, make it sound like a whole lot of fluff, because it's not
Mhm.
fluff. And when
Mhm.
somebody come to you and really need to know some information, you want to make sure you telling them, facts. So I feel like I
Right.
still get adjusted to my new body because I am a new person. And it's crazy
Mhm.
because I can look at old pictures and say I'm not that like girl anymore. I might
Mhm.
look like her and resemble her, but I'm not her. It's like I died to that person. It's so
Mm.
crazy. Even old like photos of like myself and stuff like that. It's so crazy. But yeah.
So,
So I
so
let me ask real quick. So what I wanted to know is, like with all that, was that something that was traumatic? When you made that decision, because it was a conscious decision that you had to make. I don't know if they told you this is what you need to do so it doesn't return, or if you're like a couple other women I know that just said, look, I don't even want to go through it again. I don't
Yeah.
want to worry about it. Just take them.
Yeah. That
Um,
was me. I was
oh,
one of those
okay.
that just go
Okay.
ahead and do it. Because, my kids are older. I knew I wasn't having any more kids, and I knew I wasn't breastfeeding again, and I done had it from that process that I went through. So just take them, just go ahead and take them.
Did
I didn't live my
they
life.
say that it would return? Did they think that it would return if
Oh,
you didn't do that?
nope, they
Okay.
didn't.
That,
They
that
didn't
was
say
just a choice. Okay.
can,
Okay.
of course. I feel like cancer just will rear its head in any form, anyway, in your body. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like everybody
Mm-hmm.
has some form of it. It's just a matter of how it, comes out in people. I know
Mm-hmm.
that sounds crazy, but like, and then, we have a lot of, people eat a lot of foods that,
Process. Yeah, we do.
yeah, and it just how it just comes out. Um, but no, mine wasn't. It was the radiologist, the guy who was supposed, the doctor that was supposed to do the if I was to do radiation, he was so amazed at how my body reacted with the chemo, and I'd be like, y'all, that was God. That was him. He took it out of me. Like, they read my whole results and my body was cancer free, so I knew it was him. So they were very surprised on how very,
Mm-hmm.
very, intrigued how my body reacted to it. So no, and I want to make sure that it doesn't come back. So my eating habits are pretty, like,
Yeah.
pretty Fort Knox.
Yeah, I wanna get into that in a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
I wanted to ask you, so when you realized that was happening, did you go through the part where did you feel like, oh well, if I do this, I might not feel like a whole woman? Like how, because I know a lot of women give a story like, you go through that challenge of, feeling less than a woman, or were you okay with like, this is my decision. I know I know that this doesn't make me the complete woman, but I'm okay? Or did you go through those moments sometimes where you felt like that?
You want me to be honest with you? To this day, I still don't think that way. To this day, I feel like the decision I made was a very good decision, and I know how strong and powerful I am as a woman. So I can't think anything less than. I really can't, and I don't want to beat myself up because that battle that I just went through, I wish I would beat myself
Right.
up. I wish I would. That was a lot. That was a lot. So the decisions that I made afterwards, I feel very comfortable. I am glad that I did what I did, how I did it. And no, I do not feel less than a woman. I know because some things in my body are not here that we are used to seeing, from a girl, but I don't think like that, Monrose. I really absolutely don't, because we hard on ourselves enough. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just living day to day, you hard, your mental your flesh beats you up every day, and I feel like if I thought about my decision, because I don't have, my body is different, I'm just adding on to that mental stress that my body puts on us daily. So I just,
Mm-hmm.
no, because I hear women, they do talk about them having a hysterectomy sometimes, and it makes them feel, less of a
Mm-hmm.
woman and stuff like that. But no, I've gotten to the point where I have lifted, or God has lifted me so high up that He doesn't even allow me to think that low. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Well, I can be honest, when I went through mine, that was one of my thoughts, like
Yeah,
not knowing what it was. Like, am
yeah,
I going to be able, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
to deal with this? And those were some of my thoughts, like,
right,
okay, not that this makes me a total woman,
yeah,
but I don't know. Like, God, if this is gonna be my story, like you're gonna have to prepare me. Like we had these conversations.
yeah,
You know what I mean? As I lay in wait, like I don't know, you're gonna have to send me somebody that's gonna really have to work on my self-esteem this year because I really don't know. So after everything was okay, and then we got personal and you getting to tell me, and then going through, I was just like, wow, like,
yeah,
and I'm thinking like,
yeah.
I don't know, but
Have those,
you were like,
yeah.
you gave me
Those
you know
thoughts of my body not having certain, body parts that's supposed to have been there, because you used to seeing, your body from
yeah,
childhood. So I do have those thoughts, but I can tell you they do not resonate in my brain less than maybe
yeah,
2. Because as soon as they come in this window, I got a door for them to go right back out.
yeah,
Like, I don't let them sit
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't let them sit
yeah.
there.
I,
I
And
ain't
that's
got time for that.
and that's what someone would need to hear. Someone would need to hear that you were able to be strong and think that no, I am still every bit of 100%, 1,000% woman, because there could be somebody out there that felt like I felt but needs to know that you can also, you have the choice to feel like this. You don't have to linger on that, but you have the choice to feel like, honey, I know that I'm still amazing, and that there is always alternative things after that, you know, affordable to you that you can get done if you want to. I have a friend of mine whose mother, she just went through that, and she had the same removal, and me and him was talking, and he was saying, you know, I asked her, like, Mom, do you want to do? And she was like, no, I'm I think she's in her late 60s. Like, I don't care nothing about them. I don't want them. Your daddy done seen, you know, to feed them for years. Like, I don't want to get any extra work done. But she has said, because she's older, but she said, had she been younger, you know, it might have been a thing for her. But a lot of women don't know how to move through that. And so for you to be as strong as you are and say, hey, I didn't allow that to even consume my thought process is very powerful within
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, I can't. I just really, I don't know if it's just me or is it just God. And I know it's just God, because, you know, you can, if by spending so much time with him, the last year I did, I actually know his voice, and I know he got me into a place where I can't like even allow myself to think like that, because I went through such a hard battle. The last thing I want to do is beat myself up
Right.
from what,
Absolutely.
you know,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
the last thing you want to do as women, because you got to understand, look, this was a battle y'all just went through. This is a battle that we just went through, and you do not want to beat yourself up. You know, you do so. I don't feel less than. If I just want to just know, because I know what I went through. I know what I went through.
Right. So I want to just backtrack just a tad bit.
Yes,
Outside of
I'm
your double mistake,
outlet for my
outside of
phone
your,
about to die. So give
oh,
me 1 second, okay?
okay,
All right.
you need to plug it up.
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
okay. I'll give you a second to get it
All
plugged in.
right. Sorry if it looks a little discombobulated. I'm trying
Oh,
to put my charger in.
you okay?
I know y'all probably was looking at my ceiling. All right, there we go. All right. Sorry about that.
All right, no problem, no worries. So I just want to backtrack a little bit because I know that this is a big question, and wanting to know how you dealt with this part of the process. In in that time frame when you were going through the chemo and you got to the point to where you had the hair loss,
Yes.
walk us through those steps and how you were able to maneuver from there, because a lot of women, you know, sometimes we're a bit vain, and our hair, not only are our breasts are like a crown of glory to us, but our hair also is like a crown of glory. um how how did you go through that whole process of losing your hair, and was it like, what did it come drastically? Like, did it start coming out in pieces at first, or did you just, when it did start falling out, did you just decide to go ahead and just do away with the whole thing? What process did you go through with that?
See, they during my first session of chemo, they give you what they call, I think if I'm not mistaken, they call it a red demon or red dragon or something that they like to call that red IV
Yeah,
chemotherapy
oh
that they give
yeah,
you.
that red one, the
Yes,
red one. Yes,
right. That
yes, yes.
that one. And I had a nurse that wasn't very polite, you guys, during this process. So when she gave me that IV fluid, she let me know like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, then that's when my hair was going to start falling out. But my hair didn't fall out that soon. It took a few weeks before my hair started to, I was wearing my hair, and it took a few weeks for it to actually start falling out after I had my first chemo session.
Hmm.
And it was crazy because during that process, something is about to happen because your scalp starts to feel sore, and my scalp started to feel sore. Like I said, you face demons every week. It seemed like
Mhm.
something new was going on with your body. And it just so happened that this time frame, my scalp started feeling sore, and I was still rubbing my hands through my hair, and I still had my hair. But I remember one day when I was rubbing my hands through my hair, I started to I started to feel my hair coming out, like it started to come out in clumps.
Mhm.
And that right there made me cry. I think that was one of the hardest demons that I had to face as a woman, because you're used to having hair. And when I started to just pull out clumps of hair, it actually really it made me cry. And what I did was I called my daughter over for y'all. This might sound really gross, but I promise you it's not as gross as it sounds. I did not go into my bathroom whatsoever for that whole day. I didn't go in my bathroom because I couldn't face that. I could not face that whatsoever. So for the whole day, I think I would go to the bathroom, I wouldn't look in the mirror, and I would come out. I would use the bathroom, wouldn't look in the mirror, and then just come out. I just wanted to stay out that bathroom. And then the next day, I called my daughter. It wasn't the same day. I ended up calling her the next day, and I let her know what I was going through. And she was like, "It's okay, Mom." She was like, "Well, do you want me to come over and like just go ahead and cut your hair for you?" And that's what she did. She came over, and I had a crying moment with her, but she sat in my bathroom with me, and she shaved my head. And she didn't get it all. She just shaved it enough so I wouldn't be pulling it out. And like a week later, I had my 16-year-old son come in and really shave it down for me. So my kids helped me through this process so they could see me for who I was, because no matter what, that's the last thing you want somebody to see you as unwillingly bald headed. Not unless I'm sorry to say that, but if I wasn't bald headed by choice, I didn't want nobody to see that. And I didn't know how they were going to look at me. I didn't know how they were going to view me, even down to my husband. I didn't know, but I wanted them to see me during this process so I could know that I still felt beautiful, and that they, could reassure me that mommy was still their mom, that I was still beautiful. And that was such a beautiful moment. It was such a beautiful moment.
Yeah, and like I said, when I saw you, it was absolutely beautiful. I thought that.
Yeah, so once you get the bald head, you kind of get used to it. So you have no choice but to rock it, because you with it for some months. So you got to embrace yourself this whole way through this journey. Because like I said, you are watching yourself die. You are watching yourself like literally die, but you got to continue to lift yourself up through this process. You got to continue to talk to yourself in the mirror, tell yourself you are beautiful, tell yourself you're not less than. Even though you're going through this journey, you got to reassure yourself daily. You got to check that heart and reassure yourself daily.
So with this, so you are already like me on like healthy habits. So what are you on now? Like, what do you do? What's your daily regimen for eating? What is your herbal remedies, tea, foods? And I definitely want to talk about your wholesome baked goods that don't don't do nothing to
Yeah.
nobody's sugar. They're 100% healthy. The people, yeah, I'm ready. I've been ready for a year now.
Okay, so right now I am on like and it's crazy because after chemotherapy, your body changes a lot. So you can't really process the same foods that you were eating at first. I know I can't. I don't know, everybody is different, but I know I can't process the same foods that I was eating at first. Like for instance, meat. I can't process meat the way I did at first. My body's just not breaking it down. um I don't want to give you too much information, but you want to stay regular. That's good for your bowels, and you want to make sure you have a good gut health. But if I eat meat, I'm not regular. I just can't process it, and I can really feel the metals in my body. It's crazy because I can eat, like, maybe if I'm just saying, throwing it out there, if I ate a burger like tonight, I would wake up and my body literally would feel like metal. So I just stop eating meat all in itself, and I'm more so on fruits and vegetables. I eat a lot of fruits, I eat a lot of vegetables. For protein, I might eat almond butter. I might eat some peanut butter, like on some whole wheat toast, or like some pumpernickel bread, or like rye bread. I try to stay away from carbs, anything that has a lot of sugar in, because cancer is ravenous for sugar.
Yeah,
You know, your
love.
sister probably went through it with your sister. So it's just ravenous. It's ravenous for that glucose, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's
I can't hear you.
Your sound went out.
warm. I know I do. So I try to stay away from 95% of my diet is fruits, vegetables, nuts, protein shakes, stuff like that to get my protein so I don't have to worry about, consuming it in ways my body can't process. Try to stay away from all ladle refined sugars, anything that's heavy and like sugars and stuff. I just stay away from. It's a lot easier for me because my why is strong, so I can kind of shake my head, no to a lot of things. But that's basically what my diet is, and I'm on a calorie deficit, so I make sure I'm only consuming a certain amount of calories a day. But yes.
So, what are some of the recipes that you can give? Give me some
Okay,
good
so
recipes.
as far as what, like,
That
as far as
that
just like,
that that would
I'm a foodie.
I would
So what
say.
kind, what recipes you want? Because I can
So
give you the unhealthy
something that
recipes, and I can give you some healthy recipes.
we want healthy recipes
You want
that
healthy
are good, that
recipes?
are clean.
Look,
Yeah. So
give
if
the
you're
healthy ones, not the
okay,
not the other
so
ones.
if me, if I, because your body anywhere, that no matter what kind of healthy lifestyle you're on, that sweet tooth never goes anywhere. So if you are a person like me who craves like carbs, because my body still craves those, like I'm a carb, I love French fries and breads and
Mhm.
starches and things of that nature, you can change your diet around, and you can have sweeteners, like plant-based sweeteners inside of your diet. So for instance, if like me, I love naan bread. So if you wanted to make you know what naan bread is?
Mm.
Flatbread,
Yeah.
love that. So I typically can make that. I can make a presentation of that.
ice cream recipes, which I
Yeah.
have tried and I like it. Um, I just haven't had a chance to make the non-dairy ice cream because
Bring
butter pecan, butter pecan is my favorite ice cream.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's gonna take a
bring some of
process
that
because
rum.
you have to you have to do your
Bring
pecans,
some of
you have
that
to make
rum
your
ice
little butter.
cream.
Oh, my rum ice cream that
Bring
I
some
had.
of that
Hold
rum
on. You
ice
ate
cream to Puerto
rum ice
Rico.
cream?
I'm supposed to bring the rum ice cream to Puerto Rico.
Figure it out.
No, so one of my Caribbean ladies from my church made me some rum. She always makes me rum cake,
Mm.
and she just happened to make some rum raisin ice cream. And
Yum.
when I tell you, oh my
I can
God,
imagine. I know that is
it
tasty. I can
was
taste it literally in my mouth. I
I
can
ate
imagine.
so good at the same
But
time. But
it was so good. I can only imagine using mine